Hello, guys. I'm Shane Davis. I'm here with Yanzi Lin, and we are going to talk today about the effects, the rippling effects, the devastation that's happening in the American comic book industry. And yes, I hate to keep talking about it, but I think this is only the beginning of what is going to be a nightmare scenario as the clock is ticking and its death is looming as Diamond is looking for a buyer by April 1st. Right. So we're officially on a ticking clock scenario and everybody's bracing for impact. This in Dark Horse laying people off, making sweeping layoffs among its staff. About 20 is gone, including one editor and some other people. Dark Horse did issue a statement on it. Now, what's interesting about this is there was a bit of a thing with IDW that we didn't cover, that they were basically telling their shareholders that things weren't looking so great for the future. And again, they brought up Diamond. So I'm going to call this a trickle up effect because it's going to make sense. Now, if you're new and you haven't been following or you really don't understand the way this stuff gets into your comic book shop, the easiest way to explain it is there's your comic book shop owner that places an order through Diamond. Diamond takes his money and says, I need this many books to print of Batman. DC Comics then ships the books of Batman to Diamond, and then they bust it up to all the shops and send X amount of issues to each shop and what they ordered. Okay, that is Diamond. Diamond is his perfect middleman. But one of the things, because of the way comics are, and probably most distributors, but specifically Diamond, is they hold the money for about 3 to 5 months, depending. So because of returns and things like that, damages, with the books and stuff like that, these are very fragile things. With that said, what happens to that pot of money now that they filed for bankruptcy? And this has got everybody scrambling. Now, a lot of publishers had already made deals with Penguin Random House and stuff like that. And Penguin Random House, to catch everybody up, said, well, some comic shops want to stand with Diamond, so we're still going to let you order through Diamond, but Diamond's just getting it from Penguin Random House. So in the end, basically, when this goes down, if it goes down horribly, which it already looks like it is, Marvel and DC Comics, everybody's going to be left owed money by Diamond. There could be comic book shops that are owed stock by Diamond they never got that they paid for. That is a possibility. Now, that is probably the worst case scenario. I'm not going to say we're there yet. I'm not going to say that's happening, but everybody's afraid of it. Now, Image Comics, as soon as they filed for bankruptcy, they were out. No more business. No more business with Diamond. And they were defending them a couple of years ago when Marvel and DC left during Pencils Down. Eric Stevenson scolded DC Comics for leaving Diamond. But the minute they filed for bankruptcy, he was gone. Didn't say, nah, DC. He's over there with DC now. So this whole thing is a bit of a roller coaster that most normies aren't paying attention to, but it is having an effect in the publishing world. And when I say trickle up effect, you're going to start seeing small publishers, this be so devastating to them, right? They don't have the major corporate backing that some of these other publishers do. And right off the bat, people are saying, but what about the small press comics? This is going to hurt them the worst. Yes, it is. Absolutely. But it's also going to hurt every publisher going up. You're going to see companies like Dynamite really affected. You're going to see IDW affected. You're going to see Image Comics affected. The smaller the company is, the more of an effect it's probably going to have on them. But I think it's going to affect the big dogs too, and we're going to talk about that.
So as we recall, Diamond owes about $10 million in debt to Penguin Random House. What happens is that Penguin has to collect the money from Diamond and then pay out all the different people like Marvel, DC, blah, blah, blah. From what it sounds like, though, Penguin Random House intends to pass on any unpaid debt they have from Diamond to IDW and possibly the other publishers as well. You got to keep in good with your big publishers like DC and Marvel. The little guys, not so much. And with IDW, it could be a case of, well, whatever, it doesn't matter because they've been operating with a loss of $1.4 million in the fiscal year of 2024. That was better than the loss of $3.9 million in the previous fiscal year. But, it's Well, you keep losing money all along. What's another million here or there? You know what I mean?
And this is after they had downsized a bit and sold off some branches and gotten rid of some staff. So, yes, IDW is losing less money this year than the previous year. That's the good news, I guess.
Yeah. And then we, of course, Dark Horse have to lay off 20 people. You know, they cite the usual things: increasing overhead, changing market conditions, and external economic factors. So they want to streamline all areas to produce the quality content and products that have been our trademark since day one. So it's a nice way of saying anyone who's not making money for us, adios.
And one of the things that happened in between all of this is the tariffs in Canada, and a lot of publishers, especially Valiant Comics, who I don't even know why they're issuing remarks anymore. They're not even really a comic book publisher anymore. Valiant Comics said this is going to be the end of $4.99 comic books. So a lot of people are just trying to I feel a lot of people are about to jump comic prices. So I just want to throw that in there. I feel like a lot of comic prices are about to shoot through the roof to try to make up for the money they're getting ready to lose. Now, the tariff thing is just an excuse. Diamond is also going to be a great excuse for people to go up on the money. Okay, do note that. Put a pin in that. Watch, that's going to happen. All the major comic book companies are going to say, we got to make up the money that we lost, the millions that we lost with Diamond. So now we have to up comic book prices.
So now over here, we talked about the big boys, well, kind of big boys, you know, people like Dark Horse and IDW and all that. But what about some comic printer that say maybe they have 2 or 3 titles at the most in their stable? Well, good news. There's this guy coming in called Massive Indies. And, okay, now bear with me. This is going to be very, somewhat complicated. So you are going to pay a fee to Massive to be listed in their system as say, so you'll be distributing to Massive, and then Massive will then sell that list of what they're distributing to Lunar.
Right.
And then Lunar will take the orders from all the different stores, and then it will send the order back to Massive, who will send the order back to the different publishers, who are then responsible for shipping their books directly to Lunar to distribute out to the stores. You see how convoluted this is? But that's what Massive is trying to do now. They think that we can consolidate all these little guys together, make it more enticing for Lunar to send us orders because there are more people here now, you see? But,
yeah, so people don't know who Lunar is. First off, Lunar's distribution system was built during Pencils Down when Diamond quit shipping during COVID. So they need books to keep coming no matter what. So they're like, fuck it, we're going to distribute comics, you know, whatever. Now, this whole Massive thing is a weird middleman here between you and small press. Now, I can't wrap my head around why it's even necessary, why small press can't just deal with Lunar, except for one thing. Lunar doesn't want to be responsible for people not getting a small press book, or the books are damaged, or they're late, or any of that. And a small press is arguably more risky. These aren't corporate books that are built and ready to ship. Sometimes small press could be a first-time creator. I mean, you don't know if the book's done. They just said, here's my ad. And even if it is done, they're responsible for hitting the print button on it, right? Like they maybe just don't ever go to print on it. They don't get the numbers they want. The retailers ordered it and they're just like, fuck it. And I kind of get the feeling that maybe Lunar just doesn't want to be the bad guy here, that they get to point at Massive is the problem. The massive problem. But I mean, that's just speculation. To be honest, this makes zero sense to me. It seems like basically they're charging $500 to build a spreadsheet, I guess, or a digital PDF catalog per book, which seems a little expensive. I guess they're not offering you any type of
it's okay. They're taking that out of their distribution fee. So you're kind of like prepaying in advance your distribution fee in a way.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? This is at best a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. That's it. It's not really going to help anybody, because the reality is when you go back to the Diamond thing, right? There's not a lot of stores. This is my theory in a lot of this, is there's not a lot of stores that can sustain when Diamond owes them product and they never got it and they spent that money. There could be stores that close down. period. I suspect 2025, 2026, there'll be less people trying to open comic shops. And if they do open comic shops, it's only going to be to deal in older comics or trades or manga and stuff like that, back issues. And I've said this before in other videos, but when I went to a few cons this last year, how much money is being spent on the floor, and it's not new comics. It's actually old comics. Unless it's an omnibus or an old trade paperback that DC Comics or Marvel Comics is reissuing, basically all the money at these cons is happening with vendors and back issues. And Marvel and DC isn't getting $1 of that. So a lot of the cash transactions right now in the American comic book industry, nobody's talking about, is all profit to comic shops and the people selling the books to the comic shops or resellers. It's a very weird market right now. And this whole Diamond thing is a perfect excuse for a lot of publishers to reevaluate exactly what how firmly they want to stand in the comic industry. Maybe, and I hate to say this, and this goes back to the trickle up effect. If Dark Horse, and let's go back to the Dark Horse thing, is laying people off, they're just getting prepared to lose less money. That's it. They're getting ahead of what they think are going to be probably a lot. This is my speculation. A lot of shops closing down. So they're saying, well, let's go ahead and get rid of some people and start downsizing. We're probably going to do this in about maybe 2 waves, maybe 3 if it's really bad. But let's go ahead and get one of these waves of layoffs out of the way. Shops go down with Diamond. We're owed some money. Well, we're going to brace for impact. Our overhead is less now because now there's less stores. We're making less money. But hey, it's okay because now we have a less of a payroll internally, all of that stuff. But if this is happening, and this type of conversation is happening at IDW and Dark Horse, you're going to see Marvel and DC do this. There's just no way. They're all affected, and it is a very fragile system, the direct market. And Marvel and DC, we've talked in previous videos, they're already looking at getting books into Five Below and stuff. But look, like, that's not going to help. These other brick and mortar stores that the floppies that Marvel and DC try to package books and put in like Walmart and stuff, it doesn't take. It just doesn't. The stores don't really make enough profit to actually showcase these products. They kind of put them over next to the bubble gum or something in a weird aisle nobody goes to. It just never works out. The big box stores don't care to sell your book. And quite frankly, some of the books aren't even all that great they're putting in there. Now, with that said, what will the American comic book industry look like the end of this year? I don't know. It wasn't in my cards that Diamond was going to go down like this. If I had to say, my timetable on this is probably off by about a couple of years. I did think Diamond was going to have a big issue. I'm surprised they sustained like they did. I don't know. The end of this year, I don't know. It's too soon to call it, really. But what's your thoughts?
Well, I would call it, I'll say that by the end of this year, you're going to see a lot more independence, especially when they realize that there are people like Massive coming in here to basically put their finger in the pie and not really do anything for the pie itself.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, yeah, we're going to go online and just sell direct to customers. Or better yet, we'll crowdfund our book and know the exact quantity to print. So
one thing's for sure is somebody's going to come in and try to stop a lot of small press guys from going to crowdfunding and offer a solution. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Time will tell. If you guys will hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Also, please go check out our crowdfunded book, Inglorious Rex 3. You can get book 1 and book 2 on our site. They ship out next day. If you guys just want to see a 10-page free preview, the link is down below, ingloriousrex.com. You can sample the book there and see if you want to purchase a copy. This is for volume 3, and you can get 1 and 2 in this campaign also. Let's go. $261,733. I'll leave you guys with the trailer for Inglorious Rex 3, Fighting Spirit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Truth always hurts worse. Doing good till first reverse, now you last. Blast of the past. It's cool though. Last card, play it right. Uno. We never let up. Been down forever. Sick man, we fed up. Know that we tired. Wake up the beast that's been sleeping inside. It's time to ride, we ready to slide. Hard-headed, I will not listen if you do not get it.